You are listening to the Spiritual Warrior Coach with Barbara Savin, the podcast for discovering how powerful your wisdom, compassion, and courage is. Get ready to join Barbara and her guests as they explore and offer you advice on how to reclaim your power, your energy, and your authentic self. And now, here's the host of the show, Barbara Savin.
Well, thank you for joining me today, and welcome to the Spiritual Warrior Coach podcast. I'm your host, Barbara Savin, and I am here to help you reclaim your power, your energy, and your authentic self. I am a certified clinical and medical hypnotherapist, Reiki master teacher, and energy healing specialist, life coach, and best-selling author of Gentle Energy Touch, the Beginner's Guide to Hands-on Healing. You know, I have been helping my clients for over 35 years. And the older I get, the more wisdom seems to come through. So isn't it time that you believe in yourself? You know, your mind is going to provide you with your greatest challenges in life because it's so very, very powerful. So let's use that mind for positive thinking, creating harmony, balance, peace, love, happiness, and anything else that your heart desires, because one day the world will tap you on your shoulder and say, this is your time to shine. And speaking about shining, I'm going to bring my guest on right now. How are you, Travia?
I am so good, Barbara. I tell you, I love your intro. I mean, I resonate with every word of that. That's so beautiful. I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure. Yeah, I resonate with it too. That's why I say it every time on at the beginning of every show, because it just feels right.
Absolutely.
So let me tell my listeners a little bit about you. Travia Steward, she is the founder of Reinvent LLC and is a breakthrough transformational coach. Her work focuses on helping both men and women break through barriers to achieve their personal and professional goals. And releasing and breaking through these barriers is the most effective way to creating a life that we were meant to live. And Travia's mission is to inspire and empower as many people as possible to live the highest vision for their lives without settling. And as the host of the Breakthrough podcast, she focuses on stories of people who one day decided that enough was enough to take a stand for themselves, for their health, relationships, and had a breakthrough that changed the path of their life. And she also focuses on sharing action steps that her audience can take with them right away. So welcome to the show.
Yes. Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah.
Thank you. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yes.
How did you get into all this? How did it all start?
You know, Barbara, I was a high school theater teacher for 24 years, and you just get to that proverbial moment where you go, is this as good as it gets? You know, and so in 2017, I had a very profound conversation with my mother about what had she accomplished in her 85 years of living on this earth. And she didn't list anything that she considered that she was proud of that she had accomplished. So I turned that back around on myself and said, well, what have I done? You know, because if I keep going down the same exact path, then am I going to be 85? Am I going to be 100 and go, oh man, I should have taken more chances. I should have done this. I should have done that. And so it started me on my own self-discovery with personal development. And then I just started getting intuitive messages, you know, and I don't mean in a higher sense, but it was just oh, this thing looks good. This little voice says, oh, you like this, do this, dig more into that. And so then I got my own first life coach because, 2 decades ago, I didn't even heard of a life coach. I didn't know what a life coach was, but it was the most profound thing I had gone through in my transformation. And then I recognized what it did for me, and I wanted to do that for other people. And I didn't want one other person that I came in contact with to have the answer that my mother had about 6 months before she passed. So that's basically how I got into it before teaching, and I coached and I was teaching at the same time. And then COVID happened and early stage breast cancer happened in early 2020. And I said, let's go full-time life coach because the time is now. So that's a very abbreviated version of how
Oh,
I
I can
got into this.
imagine. So you mentioned breast cancer. How is that going for you? Is it
Well,
all
it's
okay?
it was early stage 0, and
Oh, good.
I opted for a double mastectomy and without reconstruction because people have explant problems the second they do that. I didn't want any foreign stuff. I mean, I have a total knee replacement. That's as foreign as it gets. And
Yes.
so it's going well. I do
Thank God.
checkups every 6 months. I just had my labs about 3 weeks ago. Everything looks great. So there we go. So clean bill of health. So we're good. We're good.
Good.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I'm happy for you. Believe me. Yeah, our health. When we have our health, we have everything. Believe me.
Right. And when you don't, you have nothing, right?
Yeah. Then it's challenging to do anything for ourselves.
Right. Right. It sure is. Yeah.
So it's amazing that you did that with your mom, because I had the same thing. I actually looked at my mom's life and
Mhm.
I said, all right, what has, I did ask her, what have you accomplished? And she, she was an incredible singer, but her father never allowed her to be a professional singer. And there was a lot of things that she listened to other people and did not accomplish.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, that's not going to happen here. I'm not,
Yeah.
you have to put those people aside and follow your purpose and your passion and be your authentic self to the best
Absolutely.
you can be.
Yes. Yes. Love
So
that.
now you started your company,
Hmm.
and what is what exactly is the company about?
So, when you look at it, it's reinvent you. And so everything is about, I believe when you want something in life that you don't already have, then there's a reason why you don't have it presently. So I believe you have to reinvent. You have to break through those barriers, reinvent, and become the person that your goals require you to be. And so that's where the whole reinvention comes from. And so I was like, and Barbara, I was so surprised that that domain, that company, that LLC name was still available.
Available. It was meant for you.
It
Hmm.
was meant for me.
Yep.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's what it's about. It's reinventing yourself to become the person that your goals and dreams require you to be.
So do you feel that uh, that some people sometimes feel that they can't because something is stopping them or
Oh,
they're not
absolutely.
thinking positively?
There's so many things in that answer. And that's why, I focus on the breakthrough of it because, you know, we can have a whole list, a whole host of reasons why people aren't taking the action, whether they're invisible reasons, whether they're, obstacles you can see because it's time, maybe it's money, maybe it's people. But there's so many different layers and barriers that keep us, that make up our conditioning, that keep us comfortable. And so many people want to stay there because why? That feels good. Because it's uncomfortable to begin to grow. And you don't grow until you step out of your comfort zone, right? So now, what does our subconscious do? It goes, wait a minute. I don't know what's happening here. I don't think we like this. This isn't what you've done for 23 years. What's going on here? No, 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 no. I'm going to distract you. You don't have time to do the thing. Stop doing the thing. I'm going to dissuade you. You don't need that. What's wrong with your life right now? And so there's all these barriers, all these things that begin in our thoughts that keep us stuck, keep us behind those barriers to where we don't even think it's possible most of the time. And if we do think it's possible, we have no idea how to get there.
Well, that's the truth, because even like for my podcast,
Mm-hmm.
I've wanted to do this for years. And for some reason, of course, this would say, why do you have to do a podcast for? What do you, that's another
Yeah.
thing now you have to do, all that
Yeah.
negative, thinking to stop me. And then one day I said, I'm not listening to you anymore. I'm just
Yeah.
going to do it. And
Absolutely.
and that's when we finally as uncomfortable as it felt for me to do this, especially, video, I said, I have to get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how you break through.
You do,
Yeah.
you break through, there needs to be someone who can see those blind spots.
Mhm.
Because for me, I couldn't see my limited thinking. I was like, that's normal. This is normal. This is how I grew up. This is my mother. This is the environment. This is my community. What do you mean I'm supposed to be different? What do you mean those thoughts are limiting me? I don't know what you. So it took me a while to get on board with that. But you have to have that objective person, I think, to go, is this all there is? I know you ask yourself that question in the mirror, but let me show you how much more there is and how to get there. Absolutely.
100%, because I found, I was on this one radio show, KPFK,
Mhm.
just about 3 years ago. And the host, it was because of her, she pushed me into doing this. She said, I don't understand why you're not doing this. What's the matter? What is the confidence? Why is your self-esteem? And it does take someone to see that, you are capable to, or to push you along a little bit, so
Yes,
that you can do what you need to do.
absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? As much as we go, I'm confident, I believe in myself. It is so much more powerful when you have someone else who says, I believe in you. You can do
Yes.
this. We all need that person, right?
Yeah, we do. So
Yeah.
who was your person that mentioned that to you?
My partner, my spouse.
Okay.
Yeah. And so many times in my life, I was like, I'm a pretty confident person, but there's still areas when I go, "Ooh, I don't know if I should do that. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready." All of the voices. And then my
Mhm.
partner would go, "You got this. You're ready." Absolutely. The wind beneath my wings. And so,
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's always the person who sees so much greatness in me before I see it myself.
It's a beautiful thing to have someone like that. Believe me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who's that person for you, Barbara?
Yeah. Well, actually, my husband, I've been married, be 53 years this June. So
Oh,
yeah, it's a long time.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell myself
Wow.
congratulations also. Yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
long time. And we know each other for 57.
That's incredible. It's so inspirational. 53 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Long time. Long
Absolutely.
time.
Well,
And so
I plan to follow in your footsteps.
there you go.
There you
Yeah, it's
go.
all about communication and seeing each other's ability, and
Absolutely.
allowing each one to do what they're meant to do.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, and it's so important
It is so important. You're
to
so
have
right.
that special someone, or if it's not a husband or a spouse or a girlfriend or someone
Right.
that'll help push you through.
Mhm. Absolutely.
How long have you
Yeah.
been together?
Uh, it'll be 16 years in
Oh,
September.
all right. So you're getting
Yeah,
there.
so I got a little ways to go.
A
I'm
little
not
bit.
anywhere close to your 53, but I'm working on it.
Well, I'm a lot older also, so yeah,
We got a
that's
little
it.
time.
Yeah, but just takes a little time. So,
Yeah.
how do you? Why do you feel like some people do not have that confidence in them? Do you feel it's other people putting them down, or?
You know, one of the things that I have worked on is being fully expressed. And that there's an air of confidence that comes with that. Confidence to dress the way you want to dress, confidence to say the things that you want to say, confidence to stand up for your beliefs, and not folding the second the wind blows. And I think that we are, most of us are seeking so much external validation, and because of conditioning, because of our society, our families, all these things, all these layers that I try to peel back with my clients. I think all those things have now come into play and go, ooh, what's Facebook gonna think? Ooh, what if my mom sees that thing? And I just think the confidence comes from, we were created We're sent on this earth when we were born to be a certain person with a message that only we could deliver. And then we allow that to get tainted, and then we lose our confidence, because now this is because my mom said this thing to me when I was 6, it now repeated when I was 12, which, showed up when I was 18, which showed up when I was 32. And now that thing has become fact or a true belief in my perspective. And so now that's that's the lens in which I view the world. Right. So now I can't step out of that, because that's my world. So I believe for me, the confidence, I was always seeking external validation. And I know a lot of people seek that. And when you don't get it, and you don't get it the way that you want it or need it, then it's like, oh, then that must be something wrong with me. Then I'm going to stop showcasing that side of myself and become the person that I think they will accept, do the things that they will want me to do. And then we lose all part of that authentic self.
Boy, do we ever, I know that feeling very, very well, because for the majority of my life, I was a regional sales director for a huge company, supervising over 500 employees and stores. And one day, and my grandma was a healer, so I've always had the healing ability. And one day I decided, I'm just going to quit. I'm going to leave this, because it's not who I'm meant to be. It started really wearing me down. I started getting sick. I wasn't feeling well. And I knew this was taking a huge toll on my health and who I was. And I quit my job after it was about 15 or 20 years, and went into the healing modality.
Yeah.
And my friends thought I actually had a nervous breakdown. But for the first time in my life, I actually found myself. And even though there was so many people saying, you're crazy, what are you doing? Healing is woo woo and all this, but I stayed true to who I was.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it now for over 35 years.
Wow.
And yet you have to,
You
at
do.
one point, you have to make a decision.
Right. And stand by that decision, right? Not just when the wind blows, now you crumble under the slight breeze of the wind, but go all in with that. Yeah. But Barbara has longevity on her side. I tell you, everything that you do, it's a longevity kind of game for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some of my relatives tell me, when are you going to retire? And I retire.
Never.
Why would you retire when you love something that you're doing and you truly enjoy it? That's not work. It's not work.
So true. My mom retired, and she retired she switched careers, but she retired when she was probably close to mid-60s. And after that, I watched her lose some of her brain function, because she just she wasn't counting money, she wasn't helping patients, she just wasn't doing any of that. And I just watched her decline, because she wasn't getting up looking forward to anything, and so I never want to retire. I want to coach until my last breath.
That's how I feel. That's how I truly feel.
Yeah.
I'll get up and drive the 45 minutes to the office, and I'm more than happy to do that, because besides getting me out of the house, it's giving me a purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get excited in the morning, and so when Monday comes, it's like, I'm so excited for Monday now. It's like, yes, I get to work on my business. Yes, I get to help people.
Yes. And isn't that a beautiful thing, right?
So beautiful. It is. Yeah, because I had lost that zest for a while.
Well, what did you do before this again?
I was a high school theater teacher.
Oh, wow. Oh,
yeah.
You taught theater.
Taught theater. Yeah. Which, and again, that's kind of where the Reinvent you came from as well. Yeah.
Wow. So you did that for a long time, and you decided that it was time to say goodbye.
Yeah, it just, you get to a point where, I wasn't being challenged anymore. I wasn't excited for the next school year. And I just felt like I wasn't living up to my full potential. And if I just, keep going on that same path, I would have regrets at the end of life, like my mother did.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was time to close that chapter.
So we have to.
Yeah.
We have to. And I had the same thing with my mom. I watched when she left her job. There was nothing for her to do. And she
Yeah.
started again, declining in health and her attitude, everything.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, when people don't have anything to look forward to or to find something else to do.
Right, right. And even, I have some friends who are like retired, and I can't wait to start traveling. And that's good too. But I still think even when you retire, you need more than that. See the world, absolutely. But
Mhm.
you still, I mean, even that gets old, because I believe that if you're not learning, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're dying.
You're dying. I believe the same thing. Well, we're on the same page.
We certainly
That's why I
are.
found you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Same
let me
page.
ask you, how do you actually help your clients take back their personal power?
So I believe in I use what I call a metaphorical thermostat, right? Because some people are like, oh my God, Johnny pissed me off today, and I've just been in a bad mood all day. Because you handed your thermostat, you gave Johnny permission to piss you off because of how you reacted, and Johnny knows exactly how to push your button. And so I believe in order to take back that personal power, you need to be in control, have some emotional mastery. And so, because people can't anger us, piss us off until we give them permission to do so.
Yes.
So I think once we go, this is who I am, decide in advance. Because Barbara, when you get up in the morning and especially if you're going to 9 to 5, like when I was still teaching high school, I could predict that this guy who taught this one class would say something to me because he normally did it. I would predict that I'd walk down the hall and so would look at what I was wearing. And, because you just get into these patterns. And so then I got to a point where I was like deciding in advance that, you know what? I'm not going to let him get to me. I'm not going to let her looking at me, judging me, and me making it mean something. And so I think it's keeping control of your thermostat in your own pocket, in your own purse, and not allowing anybody to spike it up to 100 degrees. Because you're in control. You've decided in advance. And even if you jump into, there's a quick reaction where you go into fight or flight, you recognize it and go, okay, what am I making this mean? What is the thought? What's happening right now? Okay, Travia, you get back in control, pull it back down, and then, do your thing, whether it's breathing, whether it's taking a double breath, whether it's stomach breathing, all those things, because our thoughts are creating a lot of that fight or flight, and the fight or flight, we're not going out to fight lions and tigers, for food or anything, but our body feels like that because this guy said this comment to me. So I think if you know what happens in your body when you're triggered, when you're affected, and to prevent that, decide in advance, I think you maintain your power.
With
Yeah.
100%, because
Mm-hmm.
it's how we react. We can either
Yeah.
react back the same way or step away and say, I'm not going to allow you to drain my energy.
Yes. Yes.
Because that's what they end up doing. They drain you, and then
Absolutely.
right, and they feel great, and we go back home having a headache, or we feel completely out of sorts.
Yeah, yeah, it's so true. Like I have a couple of clients who are like, I had this 1 hour that was dedicated to something such and such, but I was walking to the restroom, and then, John Smith stopped me and then talked for 40 minutes. No. See, that's losing your personal power too, to John Smith. So let's, you're coming from the restroom, protect that personal power and go, hey, nice catching up with you, John. But you know what? I've got something, I just have 90 seconds and we'll catch up later, whatever that thing is. But even that, protecting your personal space, your personal power, all the same as well.
So it's important to I call that protecting our boundaries.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's okay to say no, and it's
Yeah.
okay to say I need to leave right now.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people feel embarrassed, or they don't, they for some reason they feel weird protecting
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, because they think it's going to look selfish and they're going to be rude. But, you know, one thing that I always do when I know that I have, like, especially if I'm on my way to do something, maybe I'm on my way to the restroom and so catches me, I already decide in advance, hey, Barbara, sorry, you know, I just have about 2 minutes and then I got to head off. And see, that way I'm not going to wait 20 minutes into the conversation and go, okay, Barbara, nice seeing you. Now I'm already ticked off. I've given you the power. I'm giving
Uh,
you 90 seconds, Barbara, from the bathroom, you know?
I'll know that now when I meet you.
Yeah, you know, unless
Uh-huh.
you and I have decided, hey, let's sit down and have this conversation on a podcast. Barbara and I are going to go have a drink. We're going to have coffee. We're going to sit down and have dinner. Now we got more time. But,
Right.
you know, this other time, that's my time. I protect it.
People they don't look at it that way. I have a neighbor, she says to me, well, I feel guilty, you know, not
Yeah.
walking away. But then how do you feel afterwards? She's angry.
Well, right.
She's
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah. So that woman's carrying around her personal power. She's angry and the thermostat's up to 100 degrees.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it's probably 150
Right. Right. Right.
because I
Right.
could see the steam blowing out of her
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
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 So
And the other woman is like, oh, everything's great, but she's seething at her house when she could have just walked away.
right. And then what happens afterwards? I really feel then that feeling continues on.
Oh, absolutely. Because then she's ruminating on it, right? And she's, oh my God, I was supposed to be working out. I was supposed to be preparing dinner. I was going to be meeting so and so, but now and we ruminate and ruminate and ruminate and get into that thought spiral. And it's like, oh my goodness. And, you know, it's an hour and a half later and you're still having those same cycle of thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's without a doubt. That's why I always say it's okay to walk away. It's okay
Yes,
to say I have something else to do. I can give you a minute and I need to leave, and
absolutely.
just do it.
Yeah,
But a lot of people just they can't.
they don't. Yeah.
They
And they
don't.
don't. They just, you know, and it's just one decision. It's one decision. That's it.
I know it's
Yeah.
I think it's putting them first, putting yourself first,
Yes.
prioritizing yourself
Mhm.
instead of that other person, even though it's important that we of course we want to make sure we give that other person time. But when I feel when the timing is right.
When the timing is right, when it's intentional, when you've decided that this is how I'm going to spend my time,
Mhm.
plain and simple, right?
So do you feel a lot of your clients have those challenges?
Sometimes, yes. And then we come back to the call, you know, and I go, okay, what was so, you know, because some people go, oh, these are my boundaries, right? We get that. And then go, oh, you crossed my boundary because you didn't have a consequence when they crossed your boundary. And so there needs to be that follow up. What happens when Barbara catches you out of the bathroom and it's over 2 minutes? Well, then what's the consequence? You're going to walk away. What is the action that you're going to take when someone crosses it? I'm going to leave. I'm going to do whatever. But we have these boundaries, but we don't have a consequence. And so I continually reiterate with my clients, it's like, okay, we've established these boundaries. You've established these boundaries. Let's reflect back. What is the action you're going to take? Because it's not like you've handed your manual to everybody you walk into. Here are my boundaries, Barbara. You read this now. This is how you treat me. Nobody knows what your boundaries are until you share that with them. You know?
It's the truth. They have no clue.
No clue. So they think,
Uh-huh.
oh, I want to talk to Barbara. I hadn't seen Barbara in years. And my Lord, I got 30 minutes before I pick up Fred from the doctor. Barbara doesn't have 30 minutes.
Right.
Right.
Right. It's amazing, isn't it?
It
We,
is.
all we need to do is express ourselves.
Yeah. Communicate exactly because now our body's going, hey, I'm not feeling so good. I'm not in homeostasis right now. So now we have those thoughts. It's like Barbara's talking, she's talking, I'm going, I gotta go. Well, listen to your body the second it comes up, because what shows up in the mind shows up in your body first, in discomfort, in dis-ease, right? All those
Yes.
things. And so, yeah, we just have to pay attention and listen because we know best. We just don't listen all the time.
I feel we don't listen a lot.
Yeah.
And lately it's been a lot.
It's a
I mean,
lot.
some of even with my own clients, and I tell them, you have the power to control this.
Yeah.
Why are you allowing someone else to take it from you?
Right.
But
Absolutely.
again, it's the guilt feeling. It's
Mhm.
the, oh, maybe they think I'm not a good person if I walk away.
Which is all
So
made up.
yeah, exactly. It's in their own minds, right?
Yeah, none of that actually exists. They're making it up the entire time, and
Hmm.
we're making assumptions.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what gets us into trouble, I feel.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
It's
Yep.
amazing, isn't it?
It is. It
What we
is.
do to ourselves.
I know, but we don't,
Uh,
until we're able to step outside and look at the picture, be the third person and go, wow, I just watched you go from a, calm 0 to 150. And I want you to watch yourself do that and you'll laugh and not do that again. If we could step outside of ourselves and go, did you see what you just did? You know? And one of the things that when I was teaching acting, I would always teach my actors and performers to have an internal monologue. And then I would ask them, okay, what's your internal monologue? Which is exactly your thoughts. What are you thinking when you take that action? Right. And so it's almost like if we could walk around hearing everybody's internal monologue, then, John Smith won't hold you up at the bathroom anymore because John Smith's going, oh, you have to go. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. You don't have to say it, but I see your body actions. You have to go. So yeah.
it's funny that you mentioned, because when I traveled last year to see my son in Florida, I was sitting next to somebody who was a little bit of a chatty Cathy. And
Mhm.
I said to myself, uh-oh, this is not good.
Yeah.
He went on and on and on. And of course, I had took out my headphones, or all these little things to show him I want to have my own time.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen. And I looked at him and in a very nice way. And I said to him, excuse me, but I would really appreciate if you actually stop talking to me, because I need this time for myself, and I
Yeah.
need to, listen to my music, or whatever I
Mhm.
was listening to.
Right. Right.
And you had to see, he looked at me, and I said to myself, uh-oh, I hope I don't have to change my seat because there's probably no seats to
Right.
change.
Hmm.
But he looked at me and he said, okay.
Yeah. What
And
is
the
he?
rest of
Yeah.
the 6 hours or 5 hours, he didn't say a word. And to be honest, I did feel a little bad saying that, but for the first, I'd say half hour or 45 minutes, he actually chewed my ear off. And it was all, it was just crazy, crazy talking.
Yeah. And stuff you didn't care to talk about, right?
No, no,
Yeah.
not at all. And I did, at the beginning we were chatting, but then I was done. I
Yeah.
was done. I was really done.
Yeah.
And I could feel myself getting like, that
Right.
feeling, and saying, okay, how are you going to get out of this one? But I decided, just to look at him right in his face and say, please stop talking to me.
Yeah. Good for you. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and I did feel weird about doing
Hmm.
that, but then put my headphones on and I said to myself, good for you, Barbara. You stuck up for yourself.
Yeah. You took
Mhm.
back that personal power. That guy was sucking up all your time and your energy.
Oh, yeah. And it was a 5.5 hour flight. And I said to myself, oh, this is not good. It's not good.
Yeah. Maybe you want to get some shut eye or something. You don't want to talk the whole time about stuff you don't care about. Yeah.
I didn't.
I get it.
And I said to myself, all right, just now, once you've got those headphones on, don't even look at him because you don't want him to
Mm-mm.
think you're going to chat again.
You're right. Right.
But yeah, we have to learn to do that for ourselves.
Yes. Completely agree.
Yeah. And then
Yep.
you feel so much better. And, like, even for myself, I do not get exhausted in any
Hmm.
way.
Yeah.
And
Because you
personal
know
power is,
yourself.
well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's so important. And it's just finding, because I could see, growing up, and I grew up in Coney Island, so many people would just give away their power, or there was always that action to reaction.
Right.
And I would always look and say, I can't be like that. I need to change,
Yeah.
you know. and not follow what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally get it. Totally get it. And
Right.
and that's, it's like you need to be taught that in school, how to protect your personal power.
Yeah.
Learn
Your
that in
power, your
school.
energy. It's a
Yeah.
shame they don't teach that in school.
I know. We're too busy teaching calculus that most of us will never use.
Yes. Or the math, and I look at the teenagers, my grandkids, and I say, what kind of math is this? I don't
Yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
it's, yeah,
The new
yeah,
math.
the new math. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so important I feel, for the school to teach these kids, life lessons, the life journey.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Teach the kids how to count money. Most of them can't count money.
No, and they can't even do handwriting anymore. They do printing.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
most
No,
of them
no
are on their
cursive.
phone. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's another whole
texting,
thing.
and then they turn in a paper in texting. Like there's no capitalization, there's no grammar, the sentences are run on. Just
I
yeah.
know. My granddaughter every now and then writes TYL, and I said, "What? What is
Talk
TY?"
to you later.
Talk to you later.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's amazing, all these little things that they're learning, and it does
absolutely.
stop them, I feel, from being who they are.
Yeah, yeah. I get that.
How do you feel someone can find their authentic self, or find who they really are?
Yeah. So I think it's a matter of peeling back those layers. And for me, one of the things that I have my clients do is I have them look at a baby picture, because that's
Mhm.
when we were our most authentic self, when we first came out in those years of, like, 0 to like 5 or 6. And I've never seen a baby, unless, somebody like went boo and scared the kid and the kid was just shocked. But even then, there's still a sparkle. But if you ever notice that when you look at a baby picture, the babies are like, this sparkle.
Happy.
And I know that when I look at those pictures and then I go, oh man, look at me. I was standing on the porch. I have this one picture I go back to. I was standing on the porch at my mom's house, and I was just, in a little dress, and I'm just smiling and grinning. And because all of our memories, everything that's ever happened to us, is stored in our, subconscious, in that metaphorical, file cabinet. And so I look at that picture, and immediately there are flashes. Sometimes it's video images, sometimes it's just still frames, right? Of pictures of going, oh man, I used to be so happy, so joyous. I used to be so full of life and excited. And so I think it's a matter of, we're not going to remember and go back, oh, I want to remember and go back when I was 20, because you've already been conditioned. I think you find your most authentic self when you go back and remember who you were as a child, and then maybe even ask, if your parents are still around, if you have siblings, hey, Barbara, what was I like? Do you remember when I was like 6, or 6 or 7, or just under the age of 10? What was I like? Oh, and then Barbara would tell me, and then there's probably things that I've forgotten, that, oh yeah, I was an adventurer. I would take these walks through the park by myself. And then my mom started talking about how unsafe it was out there. And so then I became afraid and never took any walks by myself again. But we were adventurous as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so I think, I think that is one of the most powerful things that you can do, to go back and figure out, who were you as a child? Who were you created to be before the world told you who you should be?
Who you should be.
Yeah.
Now, what if some of the kids had bad experiences, growing up?
Right. And so, I don't do any trauma work, but I always believe that there is a moment. I mean, I would love to think, I'm a glass half full person. I would love to think that kids didn't come out of the womb and were beaten, the people that, you might be in a household where there's, a lot of screaming and arguing, but there's still an authentic element of who you are. And if you peel back and go, even if you were 7, right? Like I remember I have this picture that my mom was in a hairdresser, And I had on this little short halter top, and my mom was, because I could see her under the hair dryer, because it was back in the day, you still had the hair dryers, and I could see her. And I was looking at that picture, and this was a picture that I used in a RIM session. And I was looking at that picture, and immediately I heard the women making fun of, oh, look at you wearing that little thing. That looks so funny on you. How dare you? You're not a little girl. You're not girly enough to wear something like that. And it just went on and on and on. I remember feeling so bad about myself because during that session, but I also looked at the picture of where I was smiling. And then I looked at her and loved her.
Yeah.
Right? As she stood there in that picture, like at age 7 or so. And I peeled back away those voices, and I went just to that essence and remembered, even if people are screaming around me, even if somebody's, kicking down the door, there's still an essence within each of us that we can always get back to if we disconnect and allow ourselves to do that.
That's so truthful, believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I look for myself. I grew up in the projects in Coney Island, and my grandma was a healer, as I mentioned to you before. And she would always do healing on my sister and I. And myself, as a child, always had a lot of imaginary friends, which they weren't. They were spirit guides, and I could always feel things, see things, and just know. And people would always make fun. And they would say, oh, don't hang out with Barbara. She's weird. She's weird. And yeah, I could have allowed that, those words to bring me down. But I knew, no, I'm not weird. You just don't see or hear or feel what I feel.
Yeah.
And
that's okay.
And it's okay. Yeah.
Right.
But I had a grandma that, would show me the way. So she never put me down. She would say, this is who you are. And so it's important to have that special person in your life.
It is. It is important to have that special person. But even when you don't have that special person, you can become that special person who gives yourself, your 7-year-old self, that unconditional love that maybe you didn't get. You can give it to yourself right now, because that's what happens. We repeat those patterns. We store those feelings in our bodies. And so when that similar thing happens, it's like, oh, there goes a red shirt. My dad had on a red shirt when he screamed at me, and so we repeat those things because we're triggered. But if we just get back to our essence, giving ourselves unconditional love, then that becomes the standard to which we do everything from. I really believe that.
Well, everything is about unconditionally loving ourselves.
Yeah, it is.
No matter what the challenges.
Right.
Because then you can overcome, I would feel, just about anything.
Just about anything. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
Because if we don't love ourselves, who's going to love us?
Well, yeah. And so many people depend on finding love from elsewhere, but you have to love yourself first in order to be loved and give love to someone else, because then you're just codependent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandma would always tell me, Babacita, look in the mirror, because she'd call me Babacita.
Babacita.
Look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Look in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you, Barbara.
Yeah.
And I would think it was funny.
Uh-huh.
And I would look in the mirror and say, okay, I love myself, Barbara.
Right. Yeah.
But then I realized what she really meant by that.
Yeah.
Because if we don't love ourselves, how can we grow and learn and again be, find that purpose and authentic self?
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to have that. Yeah.
So you found it. You found it yourself.
I did. I'm still, it's always a work in progress, and I found it. I'm still finding more places. I'm still finding more about how, because, one of the pillars in the work that I do is peeling the onion. And the onion are those layers, because how many layers can you peel in an onion? Oh, that was what my mom thought. Oh, this was the belief that I carried, blah, blah, blah. I'm still continuing to peel those layers of that onion in order to get down to that little bitty sweet part of the onion, right?
Uh-huh.
The one part that's still left that looks like, a little oval ball kind of, you know what I'm talking about? That little
Uh-huh.
part,
Uh-huh.
that little part.
That's the part.
Yep. Yep. So
Yeah, I
I'm
think
still trying to get there.
we're always shedding, without a
Yes.
doubt,
Yes. Yes.
and
And
allowing ourselves to shed.
right. And you're right. But we don't want to replace that shedding with something else, right? We want to shed it and leave it. We don't want to shed it, pack it in a suitcase and take it to Washington next year.
Uh-huh. No, we don't want to do that.
We don't want to do that. We don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
I always say
Yeah.
just allow yourself to let it go.
Yeah.
Let
Release
it go.
it. Absolutely.
Release it, or send it to God or to Mother Earth with love and light and healing, because
There
it
you
needs
go.
to leave with love and light and healing.
Yes. Yes. So nice, Barbara. So
Yeah,
nice.
it's so important, I feel.
It
Yeah,
is.
I mean, even at this stage of my life, I'm still shedding. I'm
Yeah.
still learning and growing and letting go of things that no longer serve me purpose.
Absolutely. And you'll do that until your last breath.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Then
that's the goal, right?
that's the goal.
That's the
The
goal.
goal is to get back to at our authentic self,
Yeah.
who we're meant to be on this earth. I
Absolutely.
feel.
Yes. 100%. I love that.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It is.
When we can reach into ourselves and say, "This is who I am."
Yeah. And be proud of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because, some people reach and go, well, this is who I am, but I'm afraid to show that person. Yeah. But be proud of it and stand firm. And this is who I am. And I love who I am.
Yeah, own
Yeah.
it. Mhm.
Own it. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
Yeah, it's but I feel a lot more people are um get seeking out life coaches
Yes.
and truly looking to reinvent themselves, because
Mhm.
they're tired of living the life that they have been living, and
Right.
it's time to move forward.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've definitely gotten, it's been, 2 decades ago, I had never heard of a life coach, but now life coaches are everywhere, but,
Mhm.
so yeah, absolutely. It's becoming a prevalent thing. And I think it's something that's so needed. I really do. I'm not saying that just because I am a life coach, but I just know the profound difference it's made in my life. And now, of course, it's one of those areas where I go, I wish I had a life coach when I was like 18, when I was 20, just things would have just been different.
Wouldn't have been as hard, maybe.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
different, more intentional. Yeah, the person that and I know everything happens for a reason, and I'm grateful for every experience I've ever had, but I just can't help but think if I had a life coach in my early 20s, I just would have made different decisions, but I know the decisions that I made, made me the person that I am today.
That you am today.
Right.
Yeah. I always say
Absolutely.
sometimes we just have to go through the hard times
Mm-hmm.
in order to see that we can change them and not
Yes,
stay in them.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
guess see we're both moving forward, aren't we?
Yes, we are, Barbara. Yes, we are. Absolutely. We're
Yeah.
going in the same in a similar direction.
Hmm.
Yes. So it's always so nice to connect with someone who is within, your ecosystem, who is traveling that path, who wants and looks and thrives on growth and personal development. And that is someone that I could sit next to on an airplane and have that conversation with.
Exactly. Me too. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping when I go to Florida this year, I get somebody like that. That would be
Yes.
ideal.
Yes.
That would be really nice then. Yeah. Then I wouldn't mind 5 hours of chatting, believe me.
Right. Right. Because
Yeah.
that time will fly by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where can my listeners reach out and get a hold of you?
So it's just my name because it's so unique. It's Travia, Trav as in Victor, IA, Steward, Steward as in David.com. So that's my website, Travia Steward on Facebook, Travia Steward on IG, Travia Steward on LinkedIn. And so, yeah, and they can just Google my name and all the things are there. So yeah, that's how,
Oh,
if they, want to have a conversation or just want to learn more, that's how we do it.
so traviasteward.com.
Yes. Yep.
Thank
So
you.
that's easy enough, right?
That's very easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, extremely easy.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
make sure it's in all the notes and everything. So you're also on Facebook. I should friend you on Facebook.
You should, but I'm not on Facebook a whole lot. I'm more on IG now because, there's a great resignation from Facebook, and Facebook turned into this place I don't really want to be.
Crazy
But you
making.
can friend me because I do go on for groups.
That's actually I have a miracles and healing group and an affirmations group. So yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
that's what
Friend
I
me
do.
and invite me to your group.
There we go. It's a
There we
plan.
go. Look at that. Okay.
So
Perfect.
one more time, where can my listeners get you?
TraviaSteward.com,
There we
IG,
go.
Facebook, LinkedIn, all the things.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. Yes.
Well,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. I'm so happy I found you.
Me too. Thank you so much, Barbara. This has been an absolute pleasure to have this very, exciting, so heartfelt conversation with you today.
Yeah, like-minded individuals, which is a beautiful thing, believe me.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Thank you, Barbara.
Well, again, thank you. And I'd like to leave my listeners with these words. Each day brings new opportunities, allowing you to consistently live a life filled with love and be there for others. Bring a little light into someone's day and be grateful and live each day to your fullest. So today, I hope you heard what you needed to hear. And visit me at motivateyourlife.net. And please subscribe to this YouTube channel, the Spiritual Warrior Coach Podcast. I'm on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple, Amazon. We're even international. And for those of you maybe interested in learning some energy healing, check out my book on Amazon, Gentle Energy Touch, The Beginner's Guide to Hands-on Healing. And I, again, would love to hear from you. Again, visit me at motivateyourlife.net. And everyone have a beautiful week filled with love and with light. Love, Barbara.